Welcome to Dr. Swine's highly dangerous garage. I'm here today to give you a preview of the bike build that I'm doing, which I call the Bopper. It's not a bobber and it's not a chopper. It's a bopper. Bopper is an old school term that we old folks used to use to just go and do it. Don't plan it, just go and do it. And this whole entire project started out one day when I was cruising eBay and found a one-off custom frame, which is a soft tail frame. And I decided that this would probably be a good starting point for a project, so I bid on it and won the frame. And eventually it was delivered by UPS in a snowstorm, but I got it. And I started putting all of my parts together that I had laying around and also buying parts. The alien gas tank was a tank that I had sitting around from a sporty build that I was working on but decided to use. The seat is an old seat off a '64 Harley that I had originally owned and ridden back when I was a kid. The fender itself is a 7.5 inch wide trailer type fender and modified to fit the swing arm frame. Chrome strap for rear fender support, and you'll notice that the fender is actually attached to the swing arm. It follows the action of the swing arm, unlike a lot of soft tails which are bolted to the frame and they remain stationary while the wheel moves up and down. This is keeping in the old school tradition of this is how we put the fender on the back of the bike. The oil tank is an old horseshoe style Harley oil tank, which I picked up. The transmission is a Baker 6-speed transmission, which came out of a big dog chopper, which somebody decided to put a 7-speed in, so I picked that one up. The motor itself is an Evo style motor. It's got about 6,000-7,000 miles on it. Runs really good. Air cleaner, something I invented just out of parts laying around. Exhaust pipes are new exhaust pipes. The front brake assembly is just parts that I came by with buying other parts, and did a little fabrication on some aluminum and polished some stuff up and added some things together. The front end is a wide glide style, but it's a billet tribal cut for the much wider use. The front wheel is a 21 inch 80 spoke Harley front wheel. Brakes are the rotors, front and back are all new rotors, and I put Performance Machine brakes front and back on this. They were used, but I went ahead and polished them all back up and made them look like they were a little bit better shape. The controls, forward controls, just used stuff that I bought, cleaned up, and put back together. Primary cases, all just parts that I managed to come up with here and there. The derby cover itself, I had a fellow in southern Washington do an engraving on that of my mud flap girls, so it would tie into the theme of the rest of the bike. And as you probably noticed, I have mud flap girls that serve as also support on the rear bar and decorations for the back end. I'm going to be running a 505 chain with sprocket not a belt. So it still carries on with the old school. And that rotates a 200 millimeter rear tire. And the rim size on this rear tire is an 18, not a 16. So it gives it a little more height and a little more wheel under there, as well as the front wheel, which is a 21-inch 80 spoke. So it has a little more of a wheel look to it, like the old bikes did. And my mud flap girl on this side as well. Now, this project is by no means finished. There's still a lot of things that have to be added. I have a front fender that matches the rear. I have a dual Hartley headlight that will also be assembled, but all of the cables and the wiring still have to be accomplished, and obviously a paint job on this, which I haven't decided on a color yet, but that will occur when I get further along with the project itself. But right now, this is the state of the build, that the bopper is in, and as it progresses further along, we'll do some updates on Highly Dangerous, so you can see what Dr. Swine has been up to. Thank you.